Hi guys, my name is Cash and welcome back to Cashed Out Cars. This is another episode of 2Broke2Boosted, my budget turbo Miata build, and in today's video we are going to be starting this thing up for the first time. So I'm pretty nervous about this. I was nervous when I first installed the ECU and tried to start it, and I'm even more nervous now. But before we get into starting it, I'm just going to quickly take you around the car, show you what I did to prepare to start it, and then we're going to take it out of this garage and give it a shot. Now, once this car is actually all done, I'm going to have a separate walk around that goes way more in depth on the build, but for now, I'm going to show you what I did to prepare here. So first, I put oil in this oil line. I just held the thing up and dumped oil into it. I put as much oil as I could down into the turbo itself to make sure that thing is oiled on the first startup. Since this is a Chinese turbo, I have no idea what they put in there, and I wanted to make sure there was some lubrication. As you can see, I have this ridiculous hood dump exhaust right now, and that's only going to be on here while I very first start it and mess around with it just a little bit, and then I'm going to do a proper good exhaust setup because I really don't like the hood dump. I basically just did it because it's sort of funny and was the easiest thing to get this car started. I have all my intercooler piping all tightened down. I have my intake air temperature sensor all hooked up. I have my vacuum line to my blow-off valve all hooked up. I have my wastegate actuator all hooked up, even though the wastegate itself needs some adjustment because right now that's a 10 psi spring, which is way more than I want to make with this car. So really today I'm just going to be starting it up and idling it, and eventually I'm going to modify this really as soon as possible so I could actually drive this thing. Other than that, it has fresh coolant, it has fresh oil. I'm going to top off the oil and the coolant once I get it out of the garage. But all in all, I think everything is pretty much good to run. Now you will notice that this breather in the valve cover currently isn't going to anything, and I am going to make a custom line that runs from that to the intake on this car, which is what you should do to properly set up a turbo Miata. But for now I'm just going to run it like that. A lot of people put just the small breather filters on that, which is okay if you don't have a sensor that relies on your airflow to actually tune the car. But anyway, I'm going to leave it like that for now, and now I'm going to put this thing on the ground, pull it out, check those fluids, and try to get this thing to start up. Alright, this thing's on the ground, and this is going to sound silly, but it's been so long since this thing's been on the ground, I pretty much forgot how low Miatas sit, because I've had this thing up on jack stands for, I think, about 3 weeks now while I was working on this install, because I kept forgetting stuff and having to order it and wait for it to come in. But now it's on the ground, it's super low, it looks pretty mean. I really like how that intercooler is down there. I just checked the coolant, and I also checked the oil level, and both are topped off. And really the last thing I need to do here is zip tie this vacuum line back, zip tie these wires, and then I could pull this thing out and try to start it. Alright guys, we are outside on the ground here, ready for the first start. And the skies are looking like they have another thought here. We got thunder coming in, and Gus is running in to grab my laptop right now. While I film this, I'm going to try to plug it in and just see if it starts. Now, we're still on the base tune from Speedy EFI, which should be fine as long as I don't get into boost, which I have no plans on doing. And I just want to see if this thing will crank over and start. But I'm really nervous about this weather coming in. I'm hoping I could do it in time. All right, it's starting to rain. I got the laptop out here. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this in time. All right, the rain held off long enough for me to try to crank it. We're going to see what happens here. It wants to go. It's thinking about it. Woohoo! Yes! Woo!
Man, that's the quietest street light vehicle I've ever heard.
Wow. Yes, guys, we are running. All right. Woo! Yes. All right. Wow, this is awesome, guys, and it really is not that loud. Up and sort of break in, so I'm just gonna let this thing that's really all I was trying to do with this video. All right, guys, you really can't make this thing up. I started this thing up and probably literally a minute later, it started absolutely downpouring out here. So we were able to get this thing out of the garage running and then back into the garage right as it started downpouring. I'm absolutely pumped for this. It's been a long time coming working on this car, and I am just so happy and so proud of this. Obviously, it's not tuned or anything yet, and I'm gonna start to actually tune it for boost. Like I said, there are a few other small things that I need to do before I could really drive it. But yes, I am just so excited. So if you like this video, don't forget to like it. If you want to subscribe for more, subscribe for more. And now I sound like Racer Miata. He says that at the end of every one of his videos. But anyway, I'm super excited. We'll see you at the next one. Take care.